are going to talk about our tonight's speaker. I am super pumped, and she has written a book, several books actually. The one we're going to be talking about mostly is Manage Your Money Like a Boss. Is your money your best employee or your worst nightmare? If you don't have the right mindset, systems, and strategies for making the most of your money, you're always going to be chasing more income and running faster on the hamster wheel. Learn how to be the boss of your money in both your business and your personal finances. How to make sure that your money is your best employee. We're going to cover creating a streamlined system to staying on top of your finances. She's also going to cover the one financial move to make that drastically increases your chances of success in business. And finally, how to be the boss of your money, even if you're not a numbers person. If you're ready for your money to support your happiness rather than the stress you out, I would love that. Then you need Christine Luken, the financial dignity coach, in your corner. Please welcome to the virtual stage my good friend Christine Luken. Christine, the stage is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited. And when Mark told me I only had 15 minutes, I said, oh no, because I have so many things that I could talk about relative to finances, whether it's business or personal finances. But today, what I really want to talk to you about is managing your money like a boss. And, we throw around that term like a boss all the time, but what does that really mean? I mean, I literally want you to think of your money as your employee. So we have all had bosses in the past, right? Almost no one goes directly from high school or college right into owning their own business. We've all had experiences, usually at least fast food experiences, of reporting to a boss. So I want you to just think about the last boss that you reported to. And if you were working an 8-hour shift, an 8-hour day in an office job, and you had finished the things that your boss had put on your plate, and so halfway through the day, you walk into your boss's office and you say, hey, boss, I am finished with the projects that you've given to me. What would you like me to do? It would be really weird if your boss ignored you and refused to answer you, or even weirder, if your boss crawled under his or her desk and hid from you, right? You would think that that was completely insane. And after a few awkward moments, you would probably wander off and, I don't know, maybe listen to a book on Audible, or maybe you would just play on social media until you had to go home. But you would think that it was really weird because it's your boss's job to tell you what to do, to give you guidance, to give you direction. It is your job to do that for your money. And I have seen so many entrepreneurs and business owners who are literally ignoring their money or hiding from their money and not dealing with their money. So I want you to make this mental shift, really both in your business and your personal finances, that you are in a relationship with money. And in that relationship, you're supposed to be the boss. You are supposed to be the one that is directing your money, that is taking charge in a positive way, right? Because we've all had bad bosses. I mean, they make movies about terrible bosses and all the cliches. So we certainly want to treat our money with respect and talk positively about our finances. And most importantly, spend time with your finances. So if you think of any relationship, those are things that are important, right? Especially respecting the other person and spending time with the other person. But if you do a self-check to say, how much time have I actually been spending on my finances, either business or personal? Because where your energy and your attention goes, that's where you're going to see improvement, right? If we ignore something, it doesn't change, right? And in fact, it usually gets worse. It usually just doesn't improve magically on its own. So that is a really important shift that I want you to make in your mindset. So a question that I get all the time is that, people feel like their finances are overwhelming to them. And I had a good friend of mine who is a business owner. She is an artist and she teaches painting classes and she sells her artwork. And she's one of those people that always said, "Oh, I'm no good with money. I never make any money in my business." And so I asked her an interesting question. I said, "What's your filing system like for your financial paperwork for your business?" And she was a little embarrassed and she said, "Well," she said, "I have this shoebox on my desk. And as I have receipts for my expenses for my business, I put those receipts into the shoebox. And then when the shoebox gets full, it kind of stresses me out. So I emptied the shoebox into a garbage bag that I keep in my closet." Is it any wonder that this woman hates tax time? I mean, can you imagine? She told me that it took her like 4 days to get all of her paperwork done to do her taxes. And I said, "Well, of course, it's no wonder, right? You're not respecting your money. You literally have zero system for, getting things organized." So I gave her a very simple system to use. And when I tell you what it is, you're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, like, of course, this is so easy." Go to the office supply store, get yourself 12 file folders, and put the month on each tab. As you accumulate business paperwork, receipts, etc., put them in that month's file folder. When your bank statement is ready, whether you print it out online or it comes in the mail, all you have to do, staple them all together. Now, for some of you, it might be a little more complicated because you may also need a set of 12 folders for invoices for the month and for credit card statements. But beyond that, you really shouldn't need that much paperwork. It should never feel like it is crushing you. It takes the overwhelm out of things if we have a system, and it doesn't have to be complicated. So a lot of times we just overcomplicate the whole entire thing and then we try to ignore it. And that is never productive. So I know you're dying to know this as soon as Mark said it. What is the one financial move to make that drastically increases your chances of success in business? And it's this. It's getting your personal finances in order. Because how you do one thing with money is how you do everything. If you overuse debt and you're disorganized and you ignore your day-to-day personal finances, chances are you are bringing those habits into your business. And here's the thing. If you start a business or you're trying to run a business with very little, what I call financial runway in your personal finances, and that just means space, right? That you have space to get your business launched, that your mortgage payment isn't going to be late if you have a bad month, right? That we have some margin in there. Because here's what happens. If you're in a desperate situation in your personal finances, it's going to cause you to do really stupid things in your business that you're going to end up regretting later. So you're going to make decisions based off of short-term cash flow issues in your personal finances, and they may not be in the best long-term interest of your business. So I have seen people take on partners for capital when they really shouldn't have, or they take on the wrong partner. I have seen them take on clients that end up being major pains in the butt, or taking on work that really is out of the scope of their zone of genius just because they were desperate for the money. And look, I say this because I've been there, right? Especially in the early years of your business. It can feel like you need to do whatever you need to do to make money. If you're on good, solid ground in your personal finances, then, things aren't as desperate, right? If you have a bad month in your business, it's not going to wreck your personal finances. And that's the last thing that I would want to happen, because, if you start a business and things don't go well and it completely ruins your personal finances, that's rough, you know. And a lot of us who have been business owners, we've had a business that, we ended up closing, etc. And, if you've sunk money into it, that's hard. And it can also be hard on your family relationships as well. If your business ends up tanking your family's finances, that's an even bigger stress point. So I certainly don't want that to happen. So how can you be the boss of your money if you're not a numbers person? Because I have a lot of people tell me this, like, Christine, I'm not great with money. I'm not good with numbers. This isn't my strong suit. The first thing I want to tell you is be very mindful of what you say about money, because it ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Anyone can be good with money. Now, you may not love numbers, and that's okay. Here's the beautiful thing. There are a lot of tools out there, many of them are free, that take care of the hard part for you. So a lot of people think, hey, in order to be on top of my finances, whether it's business or personal, that I have to have my head into spreadsheets that have pivot tables and multiple tabs and all these formulas. And just the thought of that makes me want to throw up. Hey, I'm right there with you. I don't, spreadsheets, yes, I can do them, but they're not my favorite. Technology is your friend. So we have things on the business side like QuickBooks. I know there's other ones like FreshBooks, and I'm sure there's other ones. QuickBooks seems to be the most common one. But the beautiful thing about these types of programs is they connect to your bank account, to your credit card. They pull all the transactions in. It learns from you. If you say, hey, if I buy something at Staples, it's always office supplies, it will start doing the work for you. It is worth the investment of that $50 a month or whatever you need to pay for your accounting software to stay on top of things. And on your personal finances, there's a ton of apps out there. I personally use mint.com because it's free. It's also by the makers of QuickBooks, so it's a very robust platform. But these tools make it easy for you to see in real time how you're doing, because it's very hard to make good business decisions if you don't know how those things are affecting your bottom line. So the one tip that I would love to leave you with is set a time in your schedule. Make it your meeting with money, right? A lot of, when I worked back in corporate America, we had like a Monday managers meeting. Do the same thing for you and your money. At first, if you haven't been proactively managing your money, you're probably going to you might need an hour or two a week. But as you progress and as you get used to doing this and you stay on top of it, doing it every week, you're going to find you probably only need like 20 minutes to get in there and just make sure everything's humming along, classify any transactions that you need to, pay any bills, and then you can make good, educated decisions about what to do in your business because you know how well you're doing financially and you know how those decisions are affecting your bottom line. So I hope you will take the challenge and decide today that you're ready